In our design, we've created floor 1, which is the first step that we wanted to do in creating the ranch-style house. With a little more work, we can create more sophistication to this. This is a rendering that I've completed on the house. You notice that I've added the landscaping, some of the terrain features, as well as the driveway and some of the plants. This is a great way to help you sell the project, and you can create this pretty quickly. The next step that we want to move on to do is create the second story of the house. So we want to take the ranch-style house that we have and create the second story. Again, this is a great way to help your clients visualize if you're going to do a remodeling project, add a second story. You can show exactly the way it's going to look for your clients. Let's take a look at the steps involved in creating this second story. The first thing that I'm going to do is choose the option to build a new floor. When I choose this option, the program will ask if you want to derive that floor from the previous main floor. In this case, derive the second floor from our main first floor. So I'm going to let the program go ahead and do that for me. Then the next question is, how high do you want the platforms? What do you want the ceiling to be? What do you want the floor to be? And if you want to change any of the thicknesses of the platforms, you can do this through the dialog. And my default for my ceiling, you can see in the diagram over here, E is the ceiling height. I'm going to actually change that from an 8-foot ceiling to a 9-foot ceiling, and I'm going to enter in 109 1/8. And again, the reason that's not 96 is to take into account the floor finish of 7/8 and the ceiling finish of 5/8. And when you run your cross sections, you'll see all of those platforms. So if you want to do your stair section and show the details, you can get those sorts of things. So with a 9-foot ceiling, let's go ahead and build the second floor. And now that I'm on the second floor, I'm going to turn on a tool called Reference Floors, and the hotkey for that, I'm just going to press F9 here. You can see the floor below, and here is the outer red line showing the floor below. That is the porch that extends out. And for this second floor, I'm going to grab the back wall, and I'm going to pull that in and snap it into place so that we'll have the first floor that extends out past. And now I'm going to toggle the reference, press F9 again, turn that off. If I take a 3D overview up here in the upper menu, use my full overview camera, just press that, you'll see that here is the second story. The roof is already on there. Remember, when we built the roof earlier, I left the option on for automatic roofs. Now, one of the things that we want to do is change the roof style to a gable roof on the ends up here. So I'm going to use this toggle you see down here in the lower left, change to gable wall, and I'm just going to click that, and that will toggle that wall to a gable wall. Let's go around and do the same thing for this wall. Again, all I have to do is toggle that right down here in the menu, and it will automatically create that. Remember, with the roof styles, there are a variety of styles that you can build, and you can set this up to be automatic so it becomes a very fast process for you. Okay, place a few windows in the upper story. Remember, our default window we had already set up to be the black prairie style window. So as I go through here and place those windows, it's going to use that default. Close this camera down. Let me take an overview, perspective floor overview. And if we zoom down in, again, let's add a couple of interior walls in here. So with the interior wall tool, we'll just snap a couple of walls across here. And I think if you're watching a little earlier, you saw how we did that on the lower floor. Again, if we want to come in, zoom in here, we'll add a couple of interior doors. You want to resize those, you just click on it and resize it. And again, if you want to customize it, you can come in here and create your custom look. Let me skip ahead, and I'll go ahead and add the remaining walls, doors, and windows, and then we'll move forward. I've completed adding the interior walls and doors and windows on the second floor. As you rotate around, actually the carpet that I've added in those rooms seems a little washed out. Remember, there are filter cameras up in the top menu you can toggle on. I toggled on what we call our vector view camera, which is more just showing lines and patterns. But there's glasshouse view, line drawing view, watercolor view, and several others that you can toggle through and get the different look you're after. Let's close our 3D view. The next step we want to do is we want to create a stairway that goes in the middle of the house, just out of our entryway. I've already created an area for the stairs with the wall tool right in the center. If you take a look in the 3D view, we're going to place the stairs right in this area. Let me split my screen. Again, I'm going to press Shift F6 on the keyboard here. And with the stair tool, I'm just going to zoom in this open area with the stair tool, and I'm going to drag a set of stairs on one side this way. And you'll notice, let me zoom in here so you can see this a little bit better on the 3D view. And I'm going to grab the stair tool once again, and I'm going to come over here and drag another set of stairs. I don't have to be too exact, because when I click in between these two segments of stairs, it will automatically join the two together. So you can see that in our 3D view what we've done. And if I select the stair, and let's double click on it, there's a button in the dialog that says Make Best Fit. That's going to guarantee that those stairs match platform to platform. I'll select that, and then if you concentrate down here on the different sections in the dialog, it gives you exactly what the information is for the different treads and risers and that sort of thing. I'm going to remove the check mark automatic treads, and I'm going to check the lock tread depth, because in the case of the stairs here, we want to select 11 inches for the tread depth. That's good. And I'm going to go ahead and select 11 inches for the tread depth here. And let's go ahead and make this square. So I want 8 treads on section 1. And then I'm going to also change that to 8 treads on the second section. That way it's equal in the L-shaped stair. Here's your riser height. If you want to lock the treads, you can enter the riser height. And with the stair tool, you can create stairs, straight stairs, curved stairs. There's a winder option if you have a particular set of stairs you want to go in the corner. You can choose that option, and it will automatically create winders for you. Choose OK here. And the next thing that we want to do is we're going to go ahead and move the stairs. I'm going to use my point-to-point move tool. So down here in let's go ahead and make sure I've got all 3 segments of the stairs selected with the Shift-click key. I'm going to use a point-to-point move, and I'm just going to select snap on to the landing, and I'm going to zoom in over here, and I'm just going to select where I want those stairs to go. I'm not going to worry about being too exact here, but we're going to snap it on the outside of the sheetrock in there, in that outer wall. And if you notice what happened in the 3D view when I did that, the stairs automatically cut the walls down. And you can choose, I may have that wall a little bit too far in. You can just grab those walls and pull them out. If I press the stair key here and I press tab, you can just come in here and pull that stair out a little bit if you want to nose that out and make it exact. Now the next thing that I want to do is in the stairs, I want to make sure when we go to the floor above, let's toggle the floor up indicator here. Notice I'm on floor 1. Let's toggle up to floor 2. And you can see that right now I don't have an opening for those stairs. Let's toggle on the glass house view and see if that helps, see if what we're talking about. Kind of difficult to see through the surfaces here still. But what I want to do is I want to create an opening for the stairs. You'll find a tool that will automatically create an auto stairwell. If you look down here in the lower left-hand menu, there's the auto stairwell tool. If I select that tool, it will automatically create the railing walls and open up that area so you can see your stairs. Now, if I zoom around with my camera here, you'll notice that we have a problem, that I need a walkway in here. Let me tile my views, again Shift F6, and I'm going to go up to the second floor in my plan view, and I'm going to highlight this railing wall, and if I zoom way in, you'll see the temporary dimension displayed. I'm going to enter in 3.5 or 42 inches here and get a little bit wider opening. And let's actually use our interior dimension tool because I want to have that stick. And I'm just going to run my interior dimension through here. And let's go ahead and set that to be 3'6" before it was going to the stud layer, not the interior layer. So I have a walkway of 42 inches through this railing, and I think what I want to do to create a more open fill is I want to create, as you walk into the entryway here, I want to create an opening that if it doesn't feel as constrained, we'll just grab this wall and we'll pull this wall back, and I'm going to snap it and make a square-shaped room. Now, when I do this, I may end up losing my open below, which is what the stairwell really is. So I'm just going to select that room, and if I choose open below, if that happens to happen, if you lose a designation, then that will create an opening between platforms. And you don't have to have that for stairs. That can really be any room. So now I've got the open below area. Let me toggle on my reference layer. I'm going to use the F9 key. So you can see the stairs start below floor 1. They come up through the railing, and obviously the next step is to make sure that we have enough headroom. Let me close the 3D view down. And let's talk a little bit about the stair details in here. I'm going to place a CAD detail to help with the description. I saved a CAD detail in here out of our library as a shortcut. Let me zoom in and turn off the grid. Hopefully you can see this okay. When you're using stairs, you want to have a minimum headroom. The International Residential Code calls for 6'8" for the minimum headroom, which is measured off of the nose of the stairs up to the ceiling layer. And there's obviously other code elements you want to comply with. But really what I'm concerned with right now is that minimum head width. So I'm going to just delete that, and let's go back in. To make sure that I have this clearance, I'm going to use my cross-section tool. And one of the cross-section tools is called a back clip cross-section. And what that does is it allows me to create a slice right through the model. And I'm just going to draw a small sliver inside that stairway so we can take a view of what we've got with our headroom. It looks like I may have used the wrong camera here. Let me grab the back clip cross-section. I used the cross-section camera. So here's the view of that stairwell. And I want to make sure that my headroom clears the 6'8" minimum. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line. And I've selected a shortcut called W on the keyboard. And I'm just going to draw a line. Then with the dimension tool, let's draw a dimension down to that line. And when I select that line, let's go ahead and set it to be our headroom. That can be 6'8", which is the minimum that typically code requires. You may have taller client, and make it much larger than that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw another line, because we want to draw a line that's right on the nose of those stairs. And if that line is not parallel, I can select the line and force it to be parallel with the stairs just by clicking on the parallel tool and then clicking on the line that I want it to be parallel with. And now I'm just going to grab that and I'm going to snap it onto the nose of the stairs. And with the other line that we drew with our dimension, I'm just going to extend that until it snaps into that line. At this intersection right here is where our 6'8" headroom is. And if I were to, I turn my my mouse crosshairs off so it's not as easy to see. It doesn't record well in the video. So I'm just going to draw one more line for the purpose of the video. And let's just draw a line up. And that's where the intersection is for your headroom at 6'8". So if I wanted to come in here and move that wall railing over, again, I could use my dimension tools and drag a dimension, and I could actually move that railing over 2.5 inches and maximize that hallway space. Okay, now the last thing I wanted to do, I showed you a CAD detail of that stairway with the code information on it. We ship with about 500 CAD details in our library. You can use these CAD details, and I'm just going to place one as an example. You can also import CAD details from manufacturers, any AutoCAD, DWG, DXF file. The CAD details that are included with Chief Architect, if we zoom in here, are typically very architecturally correct. You can grab these elements, you can unblock them, and you can modify them yourself. If we zoom way in on this CAD detail, I actually don't have much information for insulation underneath the slab, so that might be an area that you would want to modify and clean it up. But when I create construction drawings, I don't like to do any more work than I need to. So rather than me coming into this foundation area and creating the detail, I'm just going to reuse one that I already have. And I can use a point-to-point move tool and just snap that into place. And now I have the CAD detail that I'm after for that particular cross-section. So that's kind of how that works. You'll find platform details in the library, roof details, and you can just browse to that in the main library section. Chief Architect has an area, we call them bonus catalogs. These are areas you can go to off of the website, and you can pull those into your program, and whichever ones you're interested in. CMU walls, whatever it may be, and use those. Now that I'm finished with this section, I can save that into my library. I can send it out to what we call our layout page, which is where you do your construction drawings. And with the construction drawings, let me just pull one up that I've already created for this. If I zoom in here a little bit, you can see that here is the information that I did on the section that is similar to what we were working on. Not quite exact, but you can use these kinds of details to create your construction drawings. Let's see if I have another page here. Here's one with one of the stair details. May have had the code information, but again, it didn't include the headroom that we had, as you're typically gonna probably want to provide to your building super. I want to wrap a couple of things up on our stairs. The first thing is the cross section that we took of the stairs. This is displaying as a camera. That's a layer you can turn on or turn off. You can also modify that layer or that way that camera looks. If you open it up, you can, let's first of all rename that to a stair section. There's a tab here called Plan Display, and I'm going to display that as a callout. And in this case, the default both sides, that'll create a section view. And let's change the callout label to S1. And I'm going to leave the callout size to be automatic. You can change the line style, color. I'm going to leave the rest of the defaults. And now you can see that That's now a section that will make sense when I look at my construction documents what that has. The next thing I want to do with the stairs, we didn't talk much about the options with the stairs. If we rotate around here, let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. One of the things that I want to do is I want to remove this railing that is going up between floors, since I already have a railing on the open side. So I'm going to highlight the stair here, double click to open it. And one of the things that I can do here is on the railing, rail at wall, we'll go ahead and remove that off the left wall. And there's actually a lot of options you can change with your stairs. Open options if I wanted that open underneath. Open risers, runner. Let's go ahead and add one of those. My stair was 42 inches, so we'll make a runner that's 30 inches. If I had winders, we talked about that a little bit. Riser at the top of the landing, if you want to put that on there. Riser surface. Newels and balusters. You can change the style of baluster. You can go into the library. If there's a manufacturer that has a DWG or DXF profile of a baluster or a newel, you can import that in the program, or you can draw your own and then apply that on the railing. There's actual rail styles that you can go in: glass panel, solid panel, handrail profiles. I'm just using a standard default. But those are all details that you can customize your stairs and create a variety of looks. So let's go ahead and select OK here. And what we've done is to apply the runner and remove that rail off. And if I want to match the carpet in some other colors, I'm going to use the material eyedropper found up here in the menu. Check the carpet, and I probably use the same one, but I'm going to go ahead and select that. The material eyedropper off of the hardwood. We'll just zoom in a little bit. Apply that to the stairs. You can do that to all stairs or just the component. And finally, let's use the black off of the casing. We'll apply that to the handrail. Let's go ahead and use that to the entire object. And we'll grab that handrail and apply that. So pretty easy to create the look that you're after.